You know, just want to say your first name if you're not comfortable with, you know, full names or whatever you want to do, or no names whatsoever. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. My name's Max.
You know, why are you here?
Well, I've been into radical politics and, you know, protesting for a long time, and basically I think the events of the Arab Spring and you know, other revolutions in the Middle East kind of kicked something off, both tactically, like the occupation of this square is a direct tactical, you know, take from what happened in the Middle East, but also in terms of just normal people finally getting fed up and accomplishing something and making something for themselves that's separate from the patriarchal capitalist system that we have now. But you know, I'm kind of just here to have a shit ton of fun. This is amazing. Amazing people, full of love, free food, hot chicks. I'll be lying if I didn't say that. So yeah, that's it.
How long have you been here?
3 days.
3 days?
3 days.
How long do you plan to stay?
I got to work on Monday, but I'm going to come down here any day I have a day off. This is going to be my second house.
I got to ask, because it's interesting to hear the answers from people. Like, what do you do, like, essentially in your real life?
I'm a carpenter.
Carpenter?
Yeah.
Who's next?
Painter / work in a restaurant. We're when I'm not working or like doing my thing, I'm here until the fucking end. It's like it's starting. New York City's the next battleground. You know,
Get ready, man.
Are you guys gonna go down to DC for the October 6th?
Area.
You're from DC?
I'm going home for that shit.
Yeah. Cool. And what's your name?
Palma.
Hey, Victoria Lopez.
So why are you here?
I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. I felt very, very compelled, almost like something intangible was pulling me here. I came to witness the shift in consciousness, watching humanity bloom from the confines of fear and finally accepting love as everything.
It's been terrifying for the past 10 years, and we're sick of it. Can't get much more scared than we already are, like as a people. You know? And this entire thing is fueled on love right now. There's anger in it,
But there's love.
but there's love everywhere. There's food. People are, you know, like the other night, I got these girls invited me to just sleep with them in their fucking little blanket. You know, everyone's here on a good vibe. It's a common goal.
And it's so comforting how much people care about each other. We were here less than 5 minutes yesterday when we first arrived, and already we were being offered dinner. We were being shown around. Hospitality was almost overwhelming. It really caught me off guard how much people care about each other. And I love it.
How do you guys feel? Because I mean, like, there's so much, you know. I've been doing this for a decade too. Like, I'm 30. I started out as a protester, turned to journalism because I got so cynical with everything. And you know, like when the first couple days, when there was just a couple hundred people here and it was going up and down, there's a lot of cynicism going around, especially if you read Twitter. It's like, you know, sarcasm. Like, how do you guys feel about that? That like basically they're saying, but doing the dirty hippies and
it's another distraction.
They clearly haven't been here.
Yeah.
They don't understand it. You're gonna make light with it, jokes. You know, this is a serious thing right now.
Because they're afraid to succumb to this simplicity.
Also, they're afraid to get off their ass.
They're afraid to get off their ass. They're afraid to get
hanging on
serious.
to objectivity. They're hanging on to materialism, consumerism, capitalism. They're
Comfort.
hanging on to it. Comfort.
Too fucking. This country is way too fucking comfortable right now.
Our video games are way too much fun.
Way too much fun. You know.
This generation's most personal problem is that we've become so comfortable with this way of life that we've become uncomfortable. And I mean, this is why a lot of people are here now. They're like, people are ready for change.
Well, also, I can't think of a way of life that's more contradictory to our evolutionary paradigm. Like, this is pretty much the exact opposite of what we're supposed to be doing evolutionarily.
I'm writing a piece right now for oddly a business magazine. Portfolio.com is really interested in this, and I threw in a Fight Club quote basically saying these are the middle children of history, and like for some reason my editor flipped out over that. He was like, yes, you have to use that quote. So yeah.
Fight Club will go down. The book. The movie's amazing. It is. But that book is a modern, on the road.
Yep.
You know, it's an American classic.
It's also like someone's gonna do that at some point. Like, reset the credit record.
There is corporate art right there.
Yeah, I mean, I can see like 6 banks or more I'm sitting. You know, and the thing is, like, I don't actually think we even need to make the leap from where we are right now to burning down banks. Like, I don't honestly think that, you know, a classical revolution, you know, torches and AK-47s and pitchforks. I mean, that's ridiculous.
It's all about a conscious effort. You know, you need to take responsibility.
Yeah. What's probably going to happen? There's just going to be one day where we finally cross the tipping point and enough people wake up and say to themselves, I don't need a fucking government. I can do all this shit myself. Like, why am I selling myself to these monolithic institutions that have absolutely no regard for my life? They see me as a profit margin. Yeah, and so I can go that route. And this is the first time in history where the alternate route, the path of human interaction and love and human connectivity is just as easy. The technologies are there, the organizational capacity is there, the decentralization of information through the internet is there. And this is the first time when, you know, in the past, creating a beautiful, better world was going to be a lot of fucking work. And like, I honestly believe that we're at the point in human history where we could kind of just one day, everybody just kind of wakes up and decides not to go to work.
How much do you think, especially organizing in general? I mean, like I said, I was organizing back in '99, and it was difficult.
Yeah.
And now, Facebook and Twitter, and I mean, how much do you think of the new technology and social networking is the fact that this can actually happen?
Technology is helping us improve our lives. You know, without this is why we don't need these shitty jobs we have now. I mean, this should just be like a natural thing. This shouldn't be privilege. It should be a right to have food, to have home. You know, you should be like, instead of working your ass off at an office or something like that, you should be like working to unlock your inner potential, to really give to humanity and improve our way of life. You know, to really advance as a whole and improve our world, because it's like right now it's not so healthy.
There's one more big factor that I think we need to mention, which is that over the past 30 years, haltingly and slowly and kind of under the radar, it's become very apparent that this planet is fucked. Like, and if we don't do something, like, there's an urgency to it. There's like, this may be our last chance to like save humanity. Like, it's really that important. I mean, it seems kind of silly, like sitting in a park in New York and talking about that, but that's really what's on the line. Like, that's the stakes. So I think that makes it a lot easier to reach out to people and say to them, like, you know, you don't have to be like motivated by spirituality or morality or whatever. This is simple self-preservation. You're not going to have a planet to live on in 40 years if you don't get your ass in gear. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe it's selfish, but it works.
Anyone else have anything else?
Add something Alexis.
Just looks tired.
Get off your fucking ass and do something. Apathy, we're the United States of apathy, you know, and they're indoctrinated to be that way. So we're bombarded with advertisements and all that shit. Stand for something, come together. It's not that hard.
You are your neighbor, and you are your brother, and you are the trees, and you are the air. You are made of the same particles that the universe is made of. We are all just one whole. We are all one vibration. And once you learn to love, everyone learns to grow.
All I can say is that if people don't realize this soon, I mean, it's like you said, we're fucked. I mean, we should be privileged to be living because we can actually make a difference right now. I mean, us, our grandchildren, we're going to be the ones deciding how's it going to go down. And it can go for the worst or it can go for the best of it, you know? This is going to make history. You know, when we transcend as a civilization, as a human race.
If they're not censored.
You know, hopefully. I mean, I have hope.
And dude, I mean, I think hope is it's something I know it's been missing from my life for a long time. I mean, there's nowhere to turn for a positive spin. Yeah, inner space. So yeah, hope. You know,
it's good to see that word has not been burned by
America's largest advertisement in history.
right?
You know, of the Obama.
Hey guys, racism is over. We have a black president.
He's not even black, he's half black.
Right. And nobody ever calls him half white.
Yeah,
I do.
Everyone's like, what? I'm like,
Yeah, he's the same amount as white as he is black. Why not call him half black if they call him half black?
People will look back on like that entire election and stuff and just in the future and be like, wow. It's so the propaganda is so evident, you know. There's a lot in World War II you can look at and learn from, you know, fascism when it comes to America and why it
Bro, Joseph Goebbels would have fucking had a fucking wet dream over what we're capable of.
To quote Peter Joseph, I mean, he said that our future generations are going to look back and say, what kind of primitive, dumbass species? You know what I mean? That's what they're going to look back and say, you were ripping each other off to make money. Why?
I mean, I can tell you why. The concentration of power in, you know, political and economic systems that we're currently in began in a time when average people had no capabilities that we enjoy today whatsoever. You know, organization, connectivity, anything. And so, you know, dirty tricks, coercion, whatever, the people who hold the power have managed to keep their grip on it for the last 300 years. Since, you know, and we're still using a political and basically an economic system that, you know, is 300 years old. It's 300 years. We can communicate with somebody in China in 14 seconds, but we still have 335 congressmen for 300 million people.
Try us 1 second delay.
Well, okay, I was using hyperbole for effect.